Hi everybody, and welcome to the channel Walk and Tell. If you viewed the channel before, you may well have seen the video of my holiday to the lovely Greek island of Skiathos in 2020. In 2020, I visited some of the best and most popular beaches on the south coast of the island, including Agia Paraskevi, Kanapitsa and Troolos. In this video, you'll see some of the other beach locations, including Skiathos Town and Vasilias. I also ventured into some of the lesser known and more remote beaches, such as Mandraki and Xanamos. These are featured in part 2. They're on the north side of the island, and due to their location they tend to be more wild and windy than those resorts on the south coast. As in the previous year, I stayed once again at the Villa Calia apartments in the resort of Vasilias. I can highly recommend these apartments, where you're sure to be given a warm welcome by your hosts, Donato and Shalina, on arrival. So, sit back and enjoy the video. So the plan today is that I'm going to go into Skiathos Town, maybe visit the museum and walk a few streets just to show you a better idea of what the town looks like. You can now see bus number 10, where the bus will take me into Skiathos Town. So that's the conductor walking back to the front, just €1.60. So around about £1 for about a 10-minute journey into town. So I'm here at bus stop number 4. It's rather windy here today. So a little further down this little road, past the steps down to the beach, there's a little kiosk there selling refreshments, drinks. And right opposite the kiosk is the road that takes you down to Papadiamantis Street. And literally 10 steps further on, there's the Taxiarchis apartments, where I stayed a couple of times previously on my visits to the island. So I'm now going to go in and have a drink with my old friend Taxiarchis. And this is the pool bar at Taxiarchis apartments, so I'm going to now have a large beer at the bar. And there's Eleni pouring my beer. Yasu!
Yeah.
Good, good, thank you. Nice to see you again. Okay. And I shall be back for more drinks.
Okay.
Okay. Just a little bit further along from the Taxiarchis apartments, there's an exhibition which Shalina, I think, has told me is kind of like a house made up in traditional style with traditional costumes inside. So I'm going to take a look. And it looks as though I've found the museum. And it looks like it's open too.
It's a museum traditional house. It's one of the first houses in Skiathos, and tickets price €2 per person. A guide tour is free.
Okay, we'll come in.
Yes.
The exhibits inside the house belonged to her grandparents and great-grandparents, who once lived in Castro on the north side of the island. This is the local chemist pharmacy, and as you'll see in a minute, the temperature today is 26 degrees, which is a very comfortable sort of temperature. Plenty of tourist type shops as you're walking through Papadimiantis. Ice cream sellers. We come to the harbour front. A few more people in the restaurant. There's a fast food place here. Walking along now, along the old port. Fair-sized cruise boat over there, about to dock. So you have the boats here one side. Thank you. And of course the bars and cafes on the other side of the little road. There's the Ariadne, which is the pleasure boat I took over to the other island of Skiathos 12 months ago. Now going to take a quick walk round a little outcrop of land known as the Portsea Peninsula. Here's the Portsea Peninsula, where the old harbour kind of meets the new harbour. Little memorial here to Papadimiantis. Also another to Alexandros Moratidis, who was a Greek philosopher born in 1850. Very nice restaurant here at the top of the rock. And a few steps down to the rocks below. I think I might take a little walk down these steps. And here I am at the bottom of the steps. All the people that were sunbathing have seemed to have gone back up the steps. Perhaps they saw me coming, I don't know. There's even a little grip rail here where you can put your feet in and get into the sea to have a swim. Even a couple of people over there who've done just that. Bit of a sun trap down here, I must say. Just on my way back down to the harbour now, and the final view of part of the old town. Really nice little view that. I'm going to walk up the hill through some of the quaint narrow streets of the old town of Skiathos. And of course there's some fairly nice views once you've walked up the steps.
You might think you're getting lost sometimes when you go up the hill, but as long as you remember to go down the hill to get back to Papadiumenta Street, then you can't go far wrong. There's always an abundance of cats around these streets, no matter where you walk. Oh. And right here there's a little outcrop of land with some lovely views across the bay. And a few more steps along to this little outcrop of rock. That's the little water taxi just going into the old harbour there. And at the very top of the hill there's this lovely little church. Door seems to be open, so I think I might take a look inside. And starting my descent back down to the main street now. Every time I walk round these old streets, always seems to be a new route that I've never taken before. So this is definitely Taverna land. Apparently this is the Taverna Hellenicon, where Mama Maria apparently sings while she cooks. Could be interesting. The restaurants are getting ready for their evening trade, and just a few more steps now to get back to Papadiumenta Street. Here's the landmark of the two bars, the Totem Bar, where they have rock music, and the rather quieter Kirki Bar. And here is the Moria Taverna, where I've eaten many times over the years that I've been coming to Skiathos. It's 5 to 7 now in the evening, and I've decided to get the water taxi back to Vasilias, and it leaves in about 5 minutes time. Just having a word here, it looks like I might be the only person on the boat.
Yes. Private boat.
A private boat, he's saying. And just coming back into Vasilias now. The trip only lasts about 10 minutes. Well, at least there's some passengers to go back to Skiathos. Just alongside the entrance of the apartments, there's this little chapel which is newly built and was built in memory of the boss's father, who sadly passed away a while ago. There was a ceremony carried out by the local priest after it was built. And this is the inside. It's now Friday, the 3rd of September, and I'm on the way to the main road to catch the bus into Skiathos Town once again. I'll be spending a little less time in the town today and then go on a fairly long walk to one of the beaches called Vasilias. So I'm here at bus stop number 4, which is probably the best place to go. You can always go down the steps here to the local beach at Skiathos Town, although the better beaches are further along the coast. There's actually about 3 taverna or bars just before you get to the beach. So I'm going to have a beer here. So I've got my beer, Xanamos, and a table overlooking the beach. If you're staying in Skiathos Town, nothing to stop you, of course, from going on this beach each day, but you'd be missing out on all the other lovely bays along the south coast of this beautiful island. As I say, after I've had the beer, I'm going to be walking on to Vasilias beach, which I haven't been to for a very long time, and then I'll work my way along the other beaches during the rest of the holiday. So a quick walk along the beach here, having a paddle as I'm going along. The sea is unbelievably warm. And I've found what I've been looking for, some steps back up to the road, so that I can continue my walk along to Vasilias beach. I'm not quite sure how far it is from here to Vasilias beach. I've walked quite a way along the beach already, and indeed after about 15 minutes walk I found my way to bus stop number 7. This is Mikros Vasilias, which literally means small Vasilias. There's actually a main Vasilias beach a little bit further along. Not sure if you can walk to it from here along the beach, but I'm going to make my way down to the path just on my left hand side here. So this is Mikros Vasilias, small Vasilias beach. It's rather windy just here. In the opposite direction, I'm assuming, is the main Vasilias beach. There's a little jetty up there, and I know that the water taxis sometimes stop at the main Vasilias beach, so I'm going to head that way and see what that's like. If you're staying in Vasilias, you can take the water taxi, although they're not anywhere near as frequent as what they are from Acadias or from the far end of the island of Skiathos. I've spent about an hour and a half on Vasilias beach. Had a swim. The sea is fairly rough actually out there today, but I had a 10-minute swim out there anyway. One last look at Vasilias beach before I head back to the apartments. It's now 6:15 in the evening. Doesn't actually take very long to get from Vasilias to home, just about 10 minutes, just over the hill. Skiathos Town by night 2021, and as you can see, plenty more people here this year compared to 2020. And tonight I'm going to have a meal at Dionysos restaurant, one of my favourite restaurants in the town. This of course was closed last year because of COVID. The main course is served, lamb cleftico.
And misery in the clouds of the rising sun.
Well, that's all for now. As previously mentioned, you can continue watching by selecting part 2 of the video, in which I visited some of the lesser known beaches on the island. But please ensure to select the 21 version of the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.